It is deeply messed up that you could spend $1,000 on a phone and only use it for the same 3 apps.
At least, we thought so. That's why a few of us at the studio decided to put together a list of our favorite apps.
So from weather, to games, to photos, and more,
here are the studio's picks for our favorite apps of 2024.
So the way that we'll structure this video is we'll actually have the studio vote on the app they think that is the coolest for each category. Whoever takes home the most awards for the best category wins.
My most underrated app, I think, is probably gonna have to be the Not Boring Weather app. This is one of my favorite indie developers probably ever. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful app. It also uses sound effects like super well, like beautiful. But I think my favorite thing about this app is that the widgets that you can add to your home screen are so beautiful. Like this one right here, and it changes based on the theme. So the color can really contrast with your home screen setup. The colors going on with your app icons. It's just immaculate.
So first, for the most underrated app, I'm gonna go with Open Vibe. I don't know if you've heard about this before, but this is basically a social media aggregator app that allows you to cross-post across platforms all at once. It's actually very well designed, kind of looks like Mastodon, but you are able to post to Mastodon, to Threads, and to Blue Sky all at once from this app. You can also post to Noster if you've got that. It's got a really nice design. I'm really digging it.
Okay, I think Snapchat gets a bad rap, and it's understandable that it does. A lot of people have left, a lot of my friends have left, and I've attempted to convince people to come back with absolutely no luck. But you're missing out on like all the stupid crap that I'm trying to send you. Dogs or birds or my cat. I understand why it gets a bad rap. I really do. But I'm still on board.
All right, so productivity app. If you've watched the Waveform episode, you knew it was my alarm app for a very long time, but I am fully into Google Tasks now. I have this widget on my second screen, and you can even see in my task app, I have 220 completed. I use it literally every day. It has saved me so many times. And at this point, I honestly don't think I could live without it.
All right, for my productivity app, I've got Google Tasks. And I really like this app because it's very simple. It allows me to just jot down the things that I need to get done. Thank you, David Pierce, for putting me onto this. I used to use Google Keep and Apple Notes for basically everything, but now I have Google Tasks separated from all those other things.
What is so good about Google Tasks?
I think the reason David and I switched is not particularly because Google Tasks is the best, but because we were using nothing and it's way better than nothing.
So my pick for a productivity app would probably be HabitKit. It just makes everything that you're trying to do look like GitHub contributions, and nothing quite shames you into doing something like looking at your GitHub contributions. So here I'm trying to journal, I'm trying to meditate, that's clearly not going well. You can see all of your progress in particular habits that you're trying to do, so you can see what time, basically just like trend matching, which I think is really interesting. I really like that feature, and that's one of the reasons I've been using it nonstop since I found out about it, because in a year or two, I wanna go back and like revisit all of this and just see like where the trends are and be more mindful of everything that's happening. So for productivity, there's 2 apps that I use most. The first one is Notion. This is what we use here at MKBHD. It's what I use if I'm ever working with a client. I really like Notion on desktop, but I can't stand it on mobile, to be honest with you. There's a bunch of small stuff, like the fact that I can't get my keyboard to move down unless I scroll all the way up. So I actually would say that I mostly, 99% of the time, use my Apple Notes app. So I've been really busy with it today because I'd like you to please subscribe to the studio channel. So my pick for the creativity app would probably be the OPZ app by Teenage Engineering. It's basically useless by itself, but if you happen to have an OPZ. So basically, the OPZ is a synthesizer from Teenage Engineering, but it doesn't have a screen. So the way that they got around that was by making an app that you can download on your phone, and either your phone or your iPad or anything like that becomes the screen. So if you're ever bored and you have an OPZ, download the app.
Most of my like heavy creative work is all done on my computer mostly. So as far as like mobile apps go, I kind of went a little off category, a little off script. So I chose Chani, which is sort of a like horoscope witchy kind of app. Aside from it being beautifully designed, which I do care about, this app has just a daily little note card that changes every day based off of your like birth date and time. It helps me zoom out a little bit. So it'll be like, Michael Emerick, your day. And then today, it's kind of a good example. It says, enter recharge mode. Making intentional time to check in with yourself isn't a frivolous luxury. It's vital.
I'm not a very creative person, but there are a few things that I'm skilled in that I'm truly proud of. One of those is Taco Bell. The best part about Taco Bell is you never go and order the same thing. So I'd say the most underrated item that is always an add-on is the spicy potato sauce. Fries, not every single time, terrible. It's like $1.29. It is perfect.
Chalupas are great.
If you like styrofoam with best item, I'm not vegetarian. Chicken quesadilla is incredible, even though it's way too expensive for multiple different sources. It is the Crunchwrap Supreme. One of the only fast food options. Like there's way too much tortilla on the top. It's too dry. Get something else.
I actually get asked about this a lot. Like I post a lot of different stuff on Instagram. You should totally follow me, by the way, havar.jpg. Have a blast. But a lot of my stories have this like kind of film look to some of them. And it's this app that I discovered a long time ago called Dazcam, D-A-Z-Z, Dazcam. And Dazcam is like the easiest way to get like a disposable camera kind of look to everything you shoot on your phone. And like, honestly, a lot of it's super convincing. My favorite is probably Instant C with say like the star filter on it. So it, like all the different highlight peaks give you a little starburst. It's really fun. But there's a bunch of different options, stocks to choose from. They also do a bunch of video stuff. Definitely check this app out. I really love the product that it produces.
The other app that's been super useful for my creativity at my work is actually today's sponsor, Epidemic Sound. All right, let's turn this down a little bit. So I just got my Spotify Wrapped, and I have a problem. I'm a total film bro. At the end of every year, I learn that I listen to movie scores like crazy. So last month, when Epidemic Sound launched some of their newest features, I immediately downloaded their mobile app. Because now you can go into the search bar on Epidemic Sound and look up a song name, the artist, or even copy and paste a Spotify link and find music that's similar. Here, check it out. Here are a few of my best finds. Copy the track I Know from the Challenger score to get a techno intense driving backbeat, or the track Snowplow from David Fleming on the Mr. and Mrs. Smith soundtrack to get a funk beat with some mystery to it. Epidemic has a library of music and sound effects about as big as a New Jersey Italian deli sandwich. That's big. So you can kind of find the song or the sound for anything. And once you have a song that you like, you can access it directly in the Adobe Suite, DaVinci Resolve, or your web browser. So if you want to integrate Epidemic Sound into your creative work, we can help. Use the link below with the code STUDIO50 for a 30-day free trial of Epidemic Sound and your first 2 months 50% off. So for public transportation, I'd highly recommend the app Transit. A lot of people ask me why I would use a third-party app instead of something like Google or Apple Maps, and two main reasons. First of all, I think the real-time tracking is much better. They actually use their user base to tell you who's on a train and whether or not that train is on time. So it's almost like Waze for public transit. And then the second reason is it will tell you when you should leave. So if there's a big gap in a train schedule, it can say, hey, stay where you are for 30 minutes and then begin your commute. It's really useful for when I'm trying to go from New York City back to New Jersey on a weekend where trains might be running only every 30, 40 minutes.
So my pick for transportation is the Flighty app, which I actually do not have anymore because it is exclusively an iOS app, which hurts me every day. And like I said, I use the Samsung Galaxy now. So I had to ask Rich for his phone just so I could reminisce about how cool this app is. Basically, you put in your information and your email and if you have frequent flyer numbers, anything like that, and the app will pull all of that information into itself and give you these really cool visuals about all the places you've been. So Rich is far more traveled than I am, so he's gone all over the world. Vancouver, Tokyo, you went to Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Nice. Really cool. And then if you swipe up here, it gives you even more stats. It shows you your most flown aircraft, which is super nerdy and awesome, and I don't know why that's like even there, but it's really cool to know. Then there's the all-time flighty passport, which if you click it, it's like a digital passport of all the places you've gone. It's just a really clever app. Like, it's really fun to look at. So that's my pick for transportation.
I recently switched off of Waze and now I'm on Google Maps. Waze is just overrated and the UI sucks. So I'm on Google Maps now. It's basic, but it gets the job done.
Waze is the superior app, and Andrew does not have a leg to stand on. I'm just gonna say it. What is he like? Google Maps? My favorite app is an app called Waze. You've probably heard of it. It's basically just the most accurate way, in my experience, of avoiding traffic, cutting down your ETA as much as possible by like getting you better routes, that kind of thing.
Okay, last but not least, I don't know if anyone else has said this, but I'm really obsessed with the Pokemon trading card game Pocket right now. I've been really into this game. It's literally just the Pokemon trading card game, but collectible and mobile. Nintendo went really hard with this app, and there are so many things about it that are so well polished. There's all these things in the app, like when you're opening a booster card pack, you can turn the packs around, and if you open it upside down, you get to open the cards upside down. There's a lot of just different like challenges and daily opening things, and they really did a lot of stuff to make sure that you're coming back to this app every single day. Actually, every 12 hours, because you get to open a booster pack every 12 hours. So it's been pretty good. I'm losing a little bit of interest, but I think that they're about to release more booster packs pretty soon, so that will probably revamp it.
So for fun and games, I was gonna say the Pokemon card game, but I have a feeling a lot of other people in this video did that already, so I'm gonna do something a little different. It's actually called Tech Disc. It's a disc golf app. I'm really into disc golf, and there's not a lot of tech involved in disc golf yet, so this is something that allows it. I actually brought in my disc, and it has this little sensor on the bottom, so I can turn this on, connect it to my phone, and then it can record all my different throws, show me how fast my arm speed was, how much spin I'm getting, what my nose angle is, and this has just helped me be able to throw into a net instead of going into a field and really analytically look at how my throw can improve. And it's been a lot of fun.
Okay, let me paint a picture for you. You're in your backyard, you're hearing birds chirp. Maybe it's birds that you always hear chirp, a familiar song. Normally, you just have to either know, based off of like being a serious bird watcher or like lots of research to know what bird is making that sound, or you can see the bird and maybe identify it that way. But the Merlin app takes it one step further. You just hit record and it starts recording, and live as it's recording, little tiny things will pop up saying, that's a black-capped chickadee, or that's a cardinal, or that's a crow, or an eagle, or whatever it is. It's Shazam for birds, is all it is. Yeah, it really is just Shazam for birds.
Have you talked about Dex yet?
Not yet.
Are you going to talk about Dex?
No, I'm not. It's not an app.
No, shut up. I'm hijacking this right now. This guy right here, every day, he comes in and you know what he does? He dexes, I don't even know how Dex works because I have an iPhone. He dexes this thing, his little storybook, to his PlayStation at home somehow. And I watch this guy every morning playing Hogwarts, what is it, Harry Potter Quidditch?
Quidditch and Hogwarts Legacy.
So if he talks about using any other app, like he actually uses it, no,
That's
he's
the main
lying.
one.
He switched from iPhone. He willingly went green bubble on all of us for Dex.
And I'll do it again.
For Dex. So just let the record speak. This is a Dex aficionado. All these other apps, they don't even matter.
Thank you, Ellis. Samsung Dex, if you don't know or haven't seen the studio short, is a feature where you can plug in some Galaxy phones into a monitor and a desktop-like experience will pop up on display. Some apps work, some don't. So I specifically use the PlayStation Remote app in Dex so that when I'm plugged into my studio display monitor, it just pops up beautifully ready to go. And then because the phone is Bluetooth and the PlayStation controller is Bluetooth, pair one to the other, bada bing, bada boom, you're good.
If you want to check out more recommendations for cool tech from everyone in the studio, watch our holiday gift guide.